Good
Good
evening,
evening.
ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Evening. How are you all?
Alhamdulillah, fine, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Thank you. So, what we have done in a previous class?
Yeah, we have done the
Windows,
web hosting on Windows.
Windows.
We have done website hosting on Windows.
Windows,
Can
remote
anyone
Windows.
explain what is website hosting? What is website hosting?
In website hosting, we need free templates, ma'am, and we get free templates from the websites. And we should copy this link address from the website, and we are going to host into our web server.
Yes. Yes, very good, Wahida. Others? Tasneem?
Yeah,
Yes,
for website hosting, we need two protocols that's very important, like RDP and HTTP.
Yes. For Windows, we need RDP
Mm,
and HTTP.
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 RDP is to
Yeah.
connect and HTTP is to browse.
Browse.
Yes.
And what's in Linux? The protocols?
In
SSH.
Yes,
SSH, we need the secure shell and HTTP.
yes. Very good. So can we start the class?
yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So today we are going to start our next module and our next service, that is VPC service. So before starting with VPC, we need to know some history of networking. So what is network?
Connection of communication channel is
Mhm.
Yes, it's a communication channel,
Yes.
or it's a technology that links two or more computers or two or more devices or two or more systems, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So it's a network. It's a technology that links two or more
Com-
systems or devices. Why people use networking?
For communicating, ma'am.
Yes, for communicating,
Communication to access, yeah, to
As you
access the
said,
data,
to share the data.
to share the
Two
data.
major
sharing the data.
reasons for communication and to share the data. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
we all use
Yes.
network for communication and to share data, right?
Yeah.
Now, how to
Yes.
establish network? Two components, hardware and software. Hardware is cables, switch box, routers. This is the hardware to establish network. We use routers for internet, right? For network, internet is network.
Yes.
And switch box, cables. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So hardware, in under hardware, we use cables, network switch boxes and routers to establish network. And in software, there is a software known as TCP/IP. TCP/IP that stands for Transmission Control Protocol. Please write notes, everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. This is a software which comes with operating system for data communication.
Okay.
So TCP/IP is a software which comes with operating system, which is a part of operating system for data communication. So two ways to establish network. One is hardware and other is software. In hardware, cables, switch boxes and routers, and in software, TCP IP protocol. Clear till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I
Yeah.
proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's understand what is IP addresses. IP address is Internet Protocol Address. So every system should have some unique number to communicate from one system to another system, which is called IP address. Like for example, we are using phones. In phones, to communicate to each other, we need a number, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We need a number to communicate. So in laptops or in computers, it is known as IP address. To communicate from one system to another system, we need one unique number that is known as IP address. In computers, it is IP addresses. And in phone,
We
it's
have
known as
numbers.
mobile numbers. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
What is IP address?
Yes, yes.
It's a unique IP
It's a
number for
Yes.
any system.
To
Internet
communicate,
protocol address.
Protocol
it's
address.
an internet
Every
protocol.
system has a unique ID number.
Yes, if a system wants to communicate to another system, it should have some unique number which is known as IP address. Clear? Now IP address comes in two versions, IPv4 and IPv6. IP version 4 and IP version 6. Now what's the difference between now currently we all are using IP version 4. IP version 6 is the latest version. So we are using version 4. So what's the difference between version 4 and version 6? Version 4 is decimal dotted. It's divided into 4 octets, 8, 8, 8 and 8 in a decimal, octadecimal, and it carries 32 bits. Whereas IP version 6, it's hexadecimal. It is divided with colons and it's 128 bits. So currently, which IP version we are using?
IPv4.
IP version 4.
IP4.
And IP version 4 is divided into 4 octets. 8, 8, 8, 8. Which makes 32 bits. Clear everyone?
8, 8, 8, 7.
Yes.
4
Yes.
octabits. Okay.
Yes, 4
Your octave.
octets. Clear about IP address?
Yes, ma'am.
IP version 4 and IP
Okay.
version 6? It's a
So
interview
IP6
question.
will be okay. It will be more. Exa will be more. I mean, the performance wise, it will be more
Yes.
effective.
Yes, and it's a latest version which is mainly used by out of countries. In out of countries, they are using for advanced level of things. They are using IP version 6. Now there are two types of IP addresses. One is private IP and other is public IP. Now private IP is for local communication. Local communication, local private communication in enclosed area. And it is assigned by users. And it's for free. Whereas public IP is for global communication. Global public communication, and it is assigned by ISP. It is assigned by ISP, Internet Service Provider. And it is paid. Private IP is for local private communication. Mainly organization use this private IPs for internal team for security reasons. And it is assigned by users. Users gonna create this private IPs. And it's for free. Whereas public IP is for global communication and it is assigned by ISP, that is Internet Service Provider, and it is paid. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are you all writing notes?
Yes, ma'am, writing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So private IP is assigned by users and public IP is assigned by ISP. Whereas IP addresses will be assigned by INA. INA is an organization which assigns IP addresses. That is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. Clear, everyone? IP addresses. Who assign IP addresses?
INA.
INA. That is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. It's an organization which assigns IP addresses. And who assigns private IP? The users for internal team for security reasons. And public IP is assigned by ISP. Clear, everyone? What is IP address and types of IP address? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, boundaries of network. There are 3 boundaries of network: intranet, extranet, and internet. Intranet is a local private network. Local private network for internal communication, like within an organization. Extranet, it's a global private network. It's costliest and supplied by ISP. Extranet is supplied by ISP. And internet, we all know what is internet. It's a global public network. Like we use internet, right?
What we use. Yeah.
So it's a global public network and it's most vulnerable. Like your phones and your laptops. Do you have guarantee that? Do you give guarantee that your phones and laptops is not hacked? Will not be hacked? No, right? Anyone can hack your phone and laptop. Why? Because you're using internet. Internet is vulnerable. Clear? Internet is for global public network. Extranet is a global private network. This is used by banks. Extranet. And it's very costly. And intranet, it's a local private network within an organization for internal team. Now, internet, the monthly bill of internet will be 1200, 1500, right? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Extranet will be very costly. Like monthly, it will be 15,000 like that.
Extranet.
Yes, extranet. It's very costly. Internet is cheap and most vulnerable. Clear?
Extranet is globally, it's a private network, but globally,
yes, global
you
private
can use
network.
it globally.
If a bank wants to connect to the international bank, like here there is a bank,
Companies
SBI. If
use
this SBI bank wants to connect to the branch of SBI in other country, like in Canada, so they use global private network. They cannot use internet.
Okay.
Ma'am, do
Because it's a
companies
vulnerable.
use, ma'am, this?
Sorry,
Do companies use this?
banks, mainly
Only
banks.
banks. Okay.
Yes, banks or big companies like Amazon or Microsoft, like that. Clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Intranet is within an organization. Just in if there is an organization, there is a company in like one flat. So only that one flat use this intranet. Local private network for local private communication. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What is intranet, ma'am?
Intranet, it's a local private network for internal communication.
It's particular to a building or area.
Yes, particular for a organization. Extranet, global private network. It is used by a leased line. Leased line is a physical device, and if we establish lease line here in India and we want to communicate to Canada, so we need two lease lines in India, also in Canada, to communicate. The communication channel for extranet is leased line. And here in intranet we use cables, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Clear? Boundaries of network?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes,
Sure?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So AWS
Yes, ma'am.
offers a service, that is VPC service, which is a intranet network, local private network. So now let's understand about private IPs. What is private IP address? 10.0.0.0 172 16 31.0.0 192.168.0.0. So these three are private IP addresses. 10.0.0.0 172.116 in brackets 31.0.0 and 192.168.0.0. These three are private address. Other than this, what is public address? Public IPs then? Other than these three will be public IPs.
Okay. So these are the standard, IP addresses. This will be.
Yes, standard IP addresses. 10, you need to remember this.
Okay.
10.0.0.0.
Okay.
So here, anything which starts from 10, here there can be any number.
Okay.
For example, 10.23.86.45. Is this private IP or public IP?
Starts from 10 now, ma'am. So
Yes,
private.
it starts from 10, then it's a private IP address. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now,
Okay.
2.168.24.0. Is this public IP or private IP?
Private only. 192 is
Private only. Still. Yeah.
Yes, because it starts from 190 to 168.
190.
Is this private IP or public IP?
private only, ma'am.
How?
Private.
Because 192 and 99 it's under 168 only, no?
Okay. No, it's
No.
not a private IP, it's a public IP, because these two should be the starting numbers. 190 to 168.
Okay.
Should be standard one. It
Okay.
should be
Yes.
default.
In the the place of 0, you can keep any numbers.
Then it will be
But the
private.
starting should be 192, 168, 172, 16. Here in this, it can be 172.16.0.0 or 172.31.0.0. In this case, in 172's case, either it can be 172.16.0.0 or 172.31.0.0. Clear?
They're all private. Okay. Okay.
Sure? Now, in this zeros, till how many numbers you can create here? This is a private IP, 10.0.0.0. Now, in that 0, how many numbers you can create? 10.0 to 255. Numbers you
0
can,
to 255.
yes, 0
Okay.
to 255. Clear, everyone? Now, this is a IP. 192, 168, 257, 250, 260. Is it private IP or public IP?
It's a private, ma'am. 168.
Looks like private only.
Okay.
192.
So, in each 0, it can carry only the numbers from 0 to 255. Here it's 256. Then it's an invalid
okay.
IP address.
Oh, okay.
It cannot be more than 255.
Okay, ma'am.
So
So
it is neither private nor public. It's invalid. Clear?
So what's the limit for public? I mean, you're not talking about public, right? This is only public.
Okay.
Well, show me that
So
one,
these
ma'am.
three
Previous one, invalid
are
IP address.
private IP addresses. The standard private addresses. Other than these 3 will be public. Be it any numbers.
Okay.
Be it
Okay.
it's
And
private
can
or
you
public.
the size of the font? Can you increase the size?
It's a private or public.
It's a
Public.
Public.
So other than these 3 private, other than these 3 addresses, other addresses will be public. Clear?
Okay.
Now, if I want to see my
Yes,
system's public IP, private IP address, basically. So I need to type here my IP address. If you want to check your IP address, so you need to browse. In browser, you need to type my IP address. Select the first one. What is my IP address? What is my IP address here?
49.05.120.
49.21.
It's public or private?
Public, ma'am.
Public.
It's
Yes,
public.
very good. Got it, everyone?
Got me.
Now you can check your phone's, the Wi-Fi's network IP address. Open your phone, open your Wi-Fi. Under that Wi-Fi, you can see the address, IP address. Now tell me, is it private or public?
Okay, ma'am.
Everyone.
IP 192. Mine is private. 192.168.1. 103.
192.168.0.101. It's public now, ma'am.
Yes. No. It starts from 192 and 168, right?
Yeah.
Then it's private.
Yeah, private, sorry.
Private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine is all private.
So
Private.
understood about IP addresses?
Yeah.
How to allocate IP
Yes.
addresses? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We need
So
to
now
know codes.
in
Standard one is the private.
yes. So in VPCs there is a CIDR block. There we'll create CIDR blocks. CIDR blocks is basically the private IP addresses. CIDR block, which stands for CIDR stands for classless inter-domain routing. So in VPC, we will create CIDR blocks. CIDR blocks is basically the private IP addresses. So how do we create CIDR blocks if I want to create CIDR block? So just after the private address, if it's 10.0.0.0, after in the last digit, you need to give /16. It's divided by /16. Similarly here, /16. The numbers between /16 to 28. You can give any numbers here. 16 or 18.
This
Between 28.
this is for. I mean, what's the use of this? I mean,
This is the private
accessing
IP.
we can
Yes.
give the name. We can.
We can create our private IP address, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
We are going to, in VPC, we are going to create our own private addresses by using CIDR block. In VPC, the name is CIDR block. It stands for classless
CIDR
inter-domain routing, where we are going to give
Okay.
create the private addresses, IP addresses. Here, how do we create private IP addresses? These three are the standard private IP addresses, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The last one should be in the last
Hmm.
CIDR blocks. In the last digit, you need to put /16 between /16 to /28.
Okay.
You can give any numbers between /16 to /28.
28.
28.
Clear?
Okay. Yes,
We
ma'am.
are talking about CIDR block.
CIDR block. Yeah.
Clear, everyone?
What about the others, ma'am? 172 and 192?
Same.
It's only 18 and 28.
No. It is also between 16 to /28. Clear? You can either give /16, /17, /19, /22, /24.
Okay. But
Clear?
only one slash, right?
Yes, only one slash.
To 28.
Got it, everyone? So now if I want to give a CIDR block for VPC, so suggest me some number.
10.0.0.0.19.
0,
.19.
not dot, slash.
Not dot.
Slash.
Slash.
Sorry, ma'am. Slash
Slash
19.
19. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
If I want to give CIDR block for this private address, anything
192.168.0.0/20.
Yes.
20. Between
Understood, everyone, how to give CIDR blocks?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay, can I proceed?
Can you share the first page? First, just the beginning.
This?
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Please write, everyone, write these notes.
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood, everyone? Other than Farisa and Tasneem and Waida? Farah, Faria, Sara?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure?
Ma'am, please repeat. Ma'am, slash 16 slash 28. Why are you you read, ma'am?
See, like in the CIDR block, the last number should be 0, right? The last number will be 0. This is the private IP, yes?
Yes.
So in the CIDR blocks, how will you give the CIDR block? The last by 16. The numbers you can give numbers between 16 to 28. You can give either /16 or /17 or /20 or /28. Till 28 you can give any CIDR block. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I proceed now?
Yes, ma'am.
Understood about the history of network, the basics of network?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
to start with VPC, you should know this basics of network. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now we are starting VPC service. VPC is Virtual Private Cloud. In VPC, what are we going to learn? What is VPC? The benefits of VPC, the components of VPC, the architect diagram of VPC, frequently asked questions, and some labs. So now what is VPC? VPC is a fully managed service which is managed by AWS, and it's a free service. If you create VPC or subnets, the full VPC, the network, it doesn't charge. So it's a free service. And it's a virtual private network to establish communication between EC2 instance and to allow access of internet. Like we have launched in server, right? We have launched EC2 server.
Yes.
Yes.
ma'am.
So while launching, do we need VPC?
Yeah, VP address is
Yes.
the number.
VPC. This is our EC2 service. In EC2 service, while launching EC2 instance, these are the parameters. In that, one parameter is networks, right? Here you can see network. In network settings,
Yes.
see, we have used default VPC. Without VPC,
Yeah.
we cannot launch instance. So we have used default VPC. Now what is default VPC? Which is the VPC created by AWS. And the custom VPC is the VPC which we are going to create. Clear the difference between default VPC and custom VPC?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can
Custom.
anyone
custom-
say that? The difference is?
Custom means we need
Default VP
default is already it
created by EC2.
Yes. Default
Default
VPC
is
is created by
already created
AWS.
by AWS, and custom VPC is created by
User.
The cloud
us.
engineers or by the students. So while launching instance, we have used default VPC. Now we also should know how to create VPC, right? So now with this
Yes.
VPC service, we are going to create our own custom VPC. Earlier we have used default VPC while launching instance. Now we'll create our own VPC and subnets. Clear, everyone? Without VPC, can we launch instance?
No, ma'am.
No.
Yes, VPC is dependent on EC2 is dependent on VPC. Clear? If we don't give VPC here, then it will not get private IP address. public IP address. Clear? So why we use VPC here? It's to build virtual private network for internal team. Like I'm a developer, my team is 12 members. In my team there are 12 members in developing. So I want a private server and a private network. For that we use VPC for internal team, for private team. Here to build virtual private network to establish communication between EC2 instances, between EC2 servers, and to allow to access internet. How do we browse after doing website hosting? How do we browse? By using public IP address, right?
Yes, ma'am. We are giving the address. We are getting
Yes.
images.
So if we browse with public IP, then only the public can use can access to our website, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So it is because of network, VPC network. Clear? What is
Yes, ma'am.
VPC? Yes or no?
It's a virtual private cloud.
Yes, understood.
Yes, it's a virtual private cloud to establish communication between EC2 servers and to allow to access internet. That's it. Understood, everyone? What is VPC?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now there are 12 components of VPC. That is subnets, route table, router, elastic IP, elastic network interface, internet gateway, customer gateway, VPN connection, virtual private gateway, VPC peering, VPC endpoints, and NAT gateway. These are the 12 main components of VPC. So do we need to learn all these 12 components? In entry level, we are going to learn just 6 or 7 components of VPC.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
So please write this. Have you all written the definition?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Now write this all 12 components. You can see the components here. Like if I want to use the VPC service. So in search what I need to type? In search what I need to type?
VPC.
Yes.
VPC.
Type VPC, it will pop up. Just click. You will be in your dashboard of VPC. Can you see the dashboard of VPC here? These are the components of VPC.
Okay.
So there are 12 components. Please write these 12 components. Out of these 12 components, we are going to learn 6 or 7 components. Done? Can I proceed? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's understand these components. Let's understand with the paint architect diagram. This is a VPC. This is a VPC. VPC is a big network. VPC, it's a big network. Now what are subnets? Subnets are small network.
Small.
Small networks. big networks divided into small networks. It's known as subnets. Subnets are subsets of VPC. Subnets are subsets of VPC. That is big network divided into small networks. That is known as subnets.
Okay.
It provides communication to the servers. Subnets provide communication to the servers. Internet. Subnets provide internet to the servers. Inside the subnets, there will be the server. The EC2 servers. This is a server. This is a server, and this is a server. So, server, EC2 server is dependent on VPC, right? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So, VPC is a big network. Subnets is a big network which is divided into small networks, which is known as subnets. Inside the subnets, there will be servers. So, servers need network, right? So, who provides this network to the servers? Subnets.
Subnets.
Clear?
Yeah.
For example, there is a hospital. In hospital, there will be different departments, right?
Yes.
Pulmonologist,
Yes, ma'am.
cardiologist, general ward, or emergency ward. If they don't divide these wards, it will be confusion, right?
Yes.
There will be
Yeah.
a lots of confusion if they don't divide these departments. So similarly here, to avoid that, there is a big network which is VPC, and they have divided the small network which is known as subnets in order to give internet connection to servers.
So,
Clear?
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Clear what is VPC and subnets? Yes?
Yes.
VPC
Yes,
is
ma'am.
a big network, and subnets are the subnetworks, small networks.
Small networks.
Yes. A big network divided into small networks. That is known as subnets. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. So now, what is internet gateway? This is the internet gateway. This is the NAT gateway. This is the route table. This is the route table. Internet gateway. This is NAT gateway. This is route table. This is route table. This is internet. Internet. So now, if I want to provide internet to this subnets, I want to provide the internet to the subnets. So first, the internet will go through the internet gateway. Internet gateway is to provide direct internet connection to the subnets by using route table. So internet gateway is a direct internet connection. It provides direct internet connection to subnets by using route table. Now, if for example, if we are using internet, right?
Yes.
For internet, we need routers
Yes,
to
ma'am.
provide us internet, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
similarly, here, internet gateway, every internet gateway or every NAT gateway needs route table to provide internet connection to subnets. Here,
Okay.
write this. Internet gateway is to provide direct internet connection to subnets. Direct internet connection to subnets by using route table. Route table is to route the traffic. It's for routing. NAT gateway is to provide indirect internet connection to the subnets. Indirect internet connection.
Okay.
Clear? Yes?
Internet
Now what is
gateway.
internet gateway?
It's a direct
Going direct.
connection. Subnet.
Connecting
Internet gateway
the network
provides
direct
direct
to subnet.
internet connection to subnets, to all the subnets. Clear? And NAT gateway, which provides indirect internet connection for subnets. Now, why direct and why indirect? You can ask this question, right?
Yeah. I was about to ask it.
Okay, so now this is an external team. This is an external team. For example, is a Linux admin. Linux admin or any admin, Windows admin, Linux admin, or any developer. So now he want to access this subnets, this server. Everyone remember tree-tier architecture? This is a web server.
Yeah.
This is a app server. Every application runs on 3 servers, right?
3 servers. Yes.
Database
server.
Database
And
server.
the subnets will be
server.
web subnet,
app subnet.
Okay.
app subnet, and database subnet. So tree-tier, every application will run on 3 servers: web server, application server, and database server. So in these servers, there will be confidential data, right? If, for example, this is a Flipkart application, my Flipkart application is running on 3 servers. That is web server, app server, and database server. Then there will be a confidential data in this, right? Here it will be the coding, the whole code of Flipkart application, how this application created, and here in data you can see all the data of Flipkart application, who purchased which feature. Yes?
Yes.
How many people are using this Flipkart application? It's very confidential, right? If
Yes.
this Linux
Yes.
admin, if this external team if he wants to access this server, how he will access? By internet, right? Through internet, internet gateway, route table, and subnets, then the server. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So now, indirect internet connection, for example, this is a hacker. There is a hacker here. This is a hacker. He wants to hack. If he hacks the database server, if he hacks any of the server, then he can copy the application, right? He can misuse it.
Yes.
Yes or no? If hacker hacks any of this server, he can misuse it, right?
Yes.
So in
Yes.
companies, what they'll do, they'll create these 3 servers and they'll create one extra server, which is a jump server. They'll name it as jump server or bastion server. Jump server or a bastion server. And this server will be empty. There will be no data in it. jump or bastion subnet or jump bastion server. So this will be a empty server. If a hacker wants to hack through internet, then he will hack. If he wants to hack, he will hack this server, but this server will be empty. Meanwhile, everyone will know that there is a hacker who hacked the jump server. So how he is able to hack? Because of internet. Because we are giving direct internet connection to subnets, right? So if we give direct internet connection to subnets, then because internet is vulnerable, hackers can hack this subnet or a server. Clear till here?
Yeah.
So now why we use NAT gateway is if we need any update here. If I want to update my Flipkart applications web server, one of the feature, if I want to update, like there is a notification bell, the search bar, I want to add a contact us feature in the Flipkart application. For that I need to update, right? For that any of the team needs to update that server. Yes or no? So for that they'll use NAT gateway. They cannot use direct internet. If they use direct internet for update, then internet is vulnerable and anyone can hack the internet. So they will use NAT gateway, which provides indirect internet connection. How they use NAT gateway? They create NAT gateway, they'll create route table, and they'll launch the server with this public private subnets and private subnets, so they don't get public IP there. They will not get public IPs, they will get only private IP address. And for update they use putty and puttygen. Inside that putty and puttygen they'll open the server. So that's why they use NAT gateway for indirect internet connection. If they use direct internet connection, it may be vulnerable because of internet. Clear? Yes or no?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. And why to create jump subnet or jump server?
To protect the data from the hackers.
Yes, to protect the data from the hackers, this server will be empty. There will be no data in this. If the hackers
If they want to hack, ma'am, they hack on the other servers.
No,
They can't hack
cannot.
the other servers. I mean, okay.
If we give direct internet connection to them, then internet is vulnerable and they can hack this. That's why for this servers, these are private subnets and private servers. For this private subnets and servers, we use NAT gateway. And for Bastion, for jump server, we use internet gateway. Clear?
Yes. Okay.
Now what is public subnet and private subnet? Public subnet, which provides internet, which has internet, that is a public subnet, and which do not have internet, that is private subnet. Clear? So now if I provide internet connection to this by using internet gateway, where internet gateway is connected, it's a public subnet. And where internet gateway is not connected, then it's a private subnet.
Private subnet. Okay.
It's a public subnet. And these three are private subnets. Now what is the difference between private and public subnets? Where internet gateway is
Private.
attached, that is public subnet.
Private. Internet
Where
gateway
internet
is
gateway
not
is attached,
connected.
it's a public subnet. Where internet gateway is not attached, it's a private subnet.
Private subnet.
Clear?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So now, did you all understood what is VPC? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
What is subnet?
This is the architecture of VPC. Nana.
What is subnets? Understood what is subnets?
It's a small network.
Yes, big network divided into small networks. VPC is a big network. And what is internet gateway? Which
Internet
provides
gateway.
direct internet to the
Direct
subnets.
Indirect. Yeah.
Route
Direct
table is
access
for
to
routing.
content.
Through
Route
route
table is
table,
for-
you can provide the internet. And what is NAT gateway? Which provides indirect internet connection to the subnets. And what is route table?
Just for routing the network.
It's for routing them.
Clear? This resources, the components.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
remember what is S security groups? What is security group?
Security.
Security.
Security groups are firewalls for servers, right?
Firewalls. Yeah.
Which
Yes.
protects from hackers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Protect from hackers. Yes. Yes.
Securities.
So this is a server and this is security groups for the server. Security groups for the server, that is firewall for the servers to protect servers from hackers. And NACL is the firewall, network level firewall. It protects network from hackers.
NACL.
NACL protects, it's a firewall which protects network from hackers. And security groups protect servers from hackers. Clear?
NACL is what, ma'am? Firewall protects from?
Network level firewall. This is a network. Every network will have NACL to protect from hackers. And security groups is the host level firewall. Host is server, the server level firewall. To protect server from hackers, we use security groups, and to protect network from hackers, we use NACL. Clear?
NACL. Okay, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So now, we have learned what is internet gateway, which provides direct internet to one or more subnets by using route table. NAT gateway, it also provides internet but indirectly to subnets where the confidential servers to be accessed to protect internal server from exposing, right? Now route table, it's a component of VPC to help internet gateway and NAT gateway to route the traffic. Now the peering, what is peering? It's a connection between two VPCs. If I have created two VPs, I want these two VPs to communicate with each other. So I use peering.
Okay.
It's a technique to create private connection between two or more VPCs. Connection between two VPCs is known as peering. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And security groups is a firewall, host level firewall, server level firewall. Protect from hackers. And NACL is a subnet level firewall to protect network from hackers. Clear?
Okay.
All these points, please write these points and you need to memorize this. Any doubts in the components? Yes or no?
It's clear, Namdala. It's clear, Namdala. Yeah.
Okay. So do you want 1 minute to write this?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm giving you all 1 minute. Please write these components. Can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now this is the difference between AWS VPC and the VPC's on-premise network. What is on-premise? Organizations network. That is intranet. So this is the difference between AWS VPC of AWS and the organizations network. So here the ownership is managed in AWS. Ownership is managed by AWS, and in organization it's managed by organization. The company is managed by the company. And the location hosted in AWS data center. So if I create VPC here, I'm in Ohio region. In Ohio region, if I create a VPC, then physical VPC, it will be created in the data center of Ohio. So here the location, when we create VPC, it is hosted in data center of AWS. Here in on-premise, it will be hosted on organization or in a colocation facility. Colocation facility is a data center. There will be a data center which organization take it on rent. So it is also a kind of data center for organizations, for companies. Scalability, it's AWS VPC is highly scalable, and organizations is also highly scalable to meet the needs of organization. And security is managed here. The security is managed by AWS. Here the security is managed by organizations. And the costing is pay as you go. That means how much you use, that much you need to pay. And here it applies capital expenses and operation expenses. The setup, if you want to set up a network, they need some cables, routers, all that expenses. It includes all that expenses. But here we are getting it on rent, right? We just need to use. Clear the difference between VPC and on-premise and AWS VPC?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now the benefits of VPC. It allow EC2 instance to communicate internally each other, like web server, app server, database server must have communication in order to run application. Yes, I have just explained this.
Yes.
VPC
Yeah.
allow EC2 instance to communicate with each other, and it allow external team like Linux admin or Windows admin to access internal servers through internet gateway. Yes,
Yeah.
external team, if he wants to access this server, he'll access through internet gateway, right?
Yes.
Now it's also to supply direct and indirect connection for security reasons. Yes, NAT gateway and internet
Yes.
gateway, which provides direct and indirect internet connection.
Security test.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
and it
Yes,
also allow
ma'am.
private subnets to access internet indirectly via NAT gateway. and it's low cost
upgrade
and
anything.
easy to use, and it improves the application's performance. This network improves performance of application, and security is good here. It's easy to set up and use. It takes only 2 minutes to create VPC and 4 minutes to create subnets. It's very easy to set up and use this network, VPC network. And application, it makes the application performance fast. Clear the benefits of VPC? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the architecture which I have explained in Paint. This is the internet. This is a VPC. This is the subnet, 2 subnets. This is under subnets there is EC2 server, and if you want to provide internet to these subnets, first internet should go to internet gateway, then to route table, and route table provides the subnets, internet to the subnets. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, this is also the same. Now in VPC there is a NAT gateway, right, which provides indirect internet connection to subnets.
Yes.
So
Yes.
NAT gateway charges. Like as soon as you create NAT gateway in 15, if you use the NAT gateway for 15 to 20 minutes, it will charge. NAT gateway charges. So this is the pricing factor of NAT gateway. It charges 1 GB per hour, and for data processing, if business analytics team or data analytics team want to process the data and analyze the data, for 1 GB of data, NAT gateway will charge 0.045 USD. That will be ₹4, I guess. For almost ₹4 for 1
Okay.
GB. For 1 GB of data processing, it will charge ₹4 in INR. And to transfer data, if I want to transfer data from one region to another region, like if I want to transfer data from Ohio to North Virginia, then it will not charge. No. So data, same region data out, no incur. Like if I in same region, like I'm in Ohio. In Ohio, there are multiple services. So I want to transfer the data from one service to another service, like from EC2 service to S3 service. If I want to transfer data from EC2 to S3, then it will not charge. But if I want to transfer data from other region, from this region to another region, then it will charge. Within a region, it will not charge, but outside the region, it will charge. And VPC peering, 2 VPC data transfer to each other will charge. If 2 VPCs transfer data, one VPC transfer data to another VPC, then it will charge. Clear, everyone? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I proceed? Okay, this is all about the theory of VPC and network. Hope everyone understood. I'm giving you all 5 minutes. Please revise your running notes. If you have doubts, please clear it now. Then we will be proceeding with labs. Clear, everyone? I'm giving you all 5 minutes. Please revise your notes. If you have any doubts, please ask now itself, because we will be going to start labs in 5 minutes. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So in labs, what we are going to do, we are going to create VPC. We are going to create private subnet and public subnet. We are going to configure internet gateway and the route table for that internet gateway. Then we are going to configure NAT gateway and route table for that NAT gateway, and we are going to launch the instance. We are going to launch an instance by using our own custom VPC. So in VPC, we are going to do this labs. So I'm giving you all 5 minutes. Please revise the notes. Then we'll start with labs.